open it up for questions. This side first, this side second.
Okay, well, good win for our team tonight. When we did our schedule, obviously Princeton, garners a lot of respect. Mitch does a great job. They had a lot of veterans coming back. They have all conference players. And I think at the end of the day, getting healthy and as they get through their non-conference, they'll be a contender in the Ivy. So it's a good win for our team. And I told our guys they're going to make it difficult on us early, and they did. It wasn't an easy run-out game, so to speak, where you're going to be able to just, outscore your opponent. You were going to have to execute. And, first half, kind of felt our way through it, did some good things. Obviously, we did some poor things, but second half we were much better. Our offensive execution and not turning the ball over, getting a shot almost every time down was really good. We were better defensively, clearly, with the percentages. I don't think we were perfect by any stretch, but I do think overall, the overall depth of our team, playing a lot of guys, maybe had something to do with it, wearing them down a little bit. But, with us, this is a really good win against a good team, and I think they're going to have a great year. And I think for us to be able to get to 5-0 is very important, and for us to have a locker room of guys that are excited and happy about that is even more important. Playing a lot of guys, there's a lot of sacrifice going on. There's a lot of inconsistency in the minutes being played, and I think as our guys are realizing, the best that we can do is push each other every day, and on game day be prepared and mentally ready and take advantage of it. And if you take advantage of your opportunities in the game, you're going to find your opportunities are more. And if you're not, then those opportunities will be a little bit less. That's just the gift that this team has right now. They have a lot of guys that are about, in my opinion, not far different in terms of the impact that they play. So having Rob and Devontae for the very first time obviously gives us a little bit more depth in our backcourt for the first time all year. And I thought Devontae was terrific, and I thought Al was very good with his floor game, having 6 assists and 2 turnovers. And as we can get Rob now back, hopefully, after this game to practice a little bit more, and we'll get him ramping it up with Armand and do a better job there. Joey did a great job defensively, as did our bigs. We were very concerned about their low post game, and I thought for the most part we eliminated a lot of easy catches tonight.
Zach?
Talking about Joey, for all the talk about scheme and back and forth, how much value is there sometimes when they are trying to make the game a little bit more rugged for you down in the post, a guy that's just not kind of bashful about getting physical?
He was ready to play tonight. I think he stepped up to the challenge just in terms of us playing against a physical body down there. But Joey's a good offensive player. He just hasn't been as aggressive or assertive in games. I thought in our previous games he's tried to play the right way, but in many ways we need Joe to be selfish down there. He can score the ball with either hand. He's got good feet. Tonight he dropped a few easy ones I thought that maybe hit him in the hands. He didn't have that going as much, but around the basket he was really good. And we found him too. That's the other thing. Guys hit him for some easy ones. But I was more proud about Joe working defensively and what he did for us tonight than I was offensively. He's a good offensive player.
Coach, through 5 games, how have you sort of assessed how your team has been able to defend the three-point line, and then on the flip side of that, just the looks you've been able to get on offense from beyond the arc as well?
The three-point line for us defensively, their percentage tonight was at 22%, but obviously in the first half they made a few. I think over the course of the game, as we get better, the course of the game, we get better. Hopefully, we continue to shrink that percentage down. It's a huge part of the game. We have a big team in the way that we play. If we're giving up threes, we're either not getting back or we're getting beat off the dribble. If we're not getting beat off the dribble and we're getting back and we're getting set, we should be a tough team to defend the three. Clearly, we have to do our work and keep getting better. Offensively, if we take good shots and the guys that are supposed to shoot the threes shoot them, we'll make a good percentage. If we take a ton of threes and we got a lot of guys shooting them, in my opinion, we won't be a good percentage team. But I think in our last few games, we've taken pretty good three-point shots. I have confidence in all the guys right now that are shooting them. If we take good ones, I have no problem with it. But we're clearly a team that aspires to play the break, the movement inside out, and then play off of that. And I thought we did a pretty good job. They post-trapped tonight for the first time we saw all season, and I think we handled it better in the second half, much better in the second half than we did in the first.
You were much better in the second half defensively, especially against Llewellyn. Did you make some adjustments in that regard, or just play better?
Yeah, he did a really good job in the first half of playing downhill after, they set a screen for him. It wasn't so much as him beating screens. Our guys were doing a good job, I thought, staying in front of him, but he was doing a pretty good job of continuing to keep probing and keep coming back. And he had a couple that, from a ball screen defense perspective, we didn't give enough help on the bigs. Second half, I thought we were better there, and we were better on the ball. I thought Al did a good job. Rob was in there a few times. He did a good job on him. But without question, in the first half, he got to the paint. We're playing a lot of teams right now, just in general, that have spread the floor. You're having a 5-out look all the time. You're having 4 drivers out there at times. So we're tending, as our inexperience and our youth are in there, we're tending to get a little bit closer to our man. I want to be a little closer to my man, when in general, we have to be a tighter team, so they can't get in there. And our help is, our early help is sort of, our positioning. And, tonight, I thought we were better in the second half in particular. I thought Justin did a really good job. If you watch how he's playing right now, he's a valuable defender, whether he's guarding a big guy or a little guy, and we have to move him around at times. He's very experienced. He knows what to do, and he really helps our team. He's a very valuable piece to our success defensively, is Justin.
First half had a little bit of a Big Ten feel to it. To me, it looked like they were really trying to slow you guys down in transition and kind of muddy up the game a little bit. I guess, where do you feel like you are as a team in that kind of game where you're kind of stuck in a little bit?
Well, we haven't been in a ton of them yet. I think they definitely did try to slow us down. I didn't think that our point guards in general in the first half really ran and pushed the ball. How we've seen, they were better in the second half. As we get stagnant early in the season here away from us, we tend to stand and rather cut. I think that at times that we did execute a couple screening actions and move the ball, we got easy ones or we got drives. But the offensive rebounding was another thing they slowed us down on. We weren't on the glass as heavy in the first half, so it was sort of there. But I thought, offensively in the first half, for us, we scored 35 points in the first half. We made our free throws. We were all right. Second half, we were much better. We got some defense to offense. We were able to move the ball better off the post trap. We got some second shots. I thought Joe was pretty good in there. I thought Race had a couple big plays in there. And Trace was good as well. Trace is learning how to play the game right now against a lot of different styles. But Trace was efficient. He 5 of 6 from the deal. He had 11 points. And, he was pretty good in there as well. So, but we got a lot of different guys. We need to keep getting better. We need to keep getting a more experience level. And we need to work through, what I would call inconsistency off guys coming into the game. Guys coming into the game have to be ready to roll. If they're not, it stands out. And then we have to go, to another guy. But I think in general, if we can get Demezy and Jerome and Armand and our younger players, and then you move in Devontae and Rob now coming in for more, that symmetry, that chemistry of knowing what to do and playing together, that's the thing that we're trying to figure out the most, I think, in terms of that speed of the game and that pace of play. Sometimes when you have new guys out there that are unsure, it holds and it sticks a little bit. When it doesn't stick with us, we're good. When it does stick, obviously, we can walk in mud.
You've mentioned 12 or fewer turnovers as kind of a goal for the team on a game-to-game basis. I think that's happened now 4 out of 5 games. Just how encouraging is that as you kind of track your progress here in the preseason?
Nothing's more important, for this team is to not turn the ball over, especially the live ball turnovers. We had a silly one to start the game today again, or it was a post feed. We have to do the ones that, you turn the ball over out of being aggressive. The turnovers that are afterthought plays where I didn't really know what to do with it, so I just gave it to this guy, rather than having real purpose to what we're doing. And I think we had, how many at half? Did we have 6? 6 at half? So we finished the game with 9, so we only had 3 in the second half, which was, obviously good. And I look at our guard play. When I see turnovers, I look right to the guard play, and I thought tonight, Al, 6-0. That's awesome. Devontae in 2 games now is 8-2, I believe. That's great. Armand was 2-0 tonight. Rob got in there with 2 more assists tonight. You start looking at those assist totals, the floor game by our guards. They're handling the ball more for us, so they have to take care of the ball more for us. Our front court guys, they just got to do a great job of knowing what they're doing if they do get trapped or if they do. We had a couple easy, but if you look at the 2 things with our team, it's rebounding and turning the ball over. If we're rebounding well and we don't turn the ball over, we're gonna be all right. If we turn it over or we don't rebound, we're done.
Devontae Green, even with his typical flair that he has in his game, seemed to make a lot more plays that he might not have made a year ago with 1 turnover, typically less than he would have last season. How have you seen him mature as a player from last season into this season?
Not a ton. I haven't seen him that much. He hasn't played that much for us. I think at the end of the day, Devontae knows that he is a playmaker for us, and we want him to be aggressive. It's the simple plays. It's being aggressive within the framework of what we're doing. He's our best playmaker in terms of making the the pass that you can't see, he sees it early. And the shot selection, that's the other thing with him that's always kind of got him. He's so aggressive and he knows he can impact the game, but you got to understand those ones when you're aggressive, how to take them. I think that's the only thing I stress to him is to play smart and play simple. If he does that, he's going to play a big role with what we're doing. And he's just getting back into the framework. He's only played 2 games with these guys, so he was better tonight. He was very, very impactful in tonight's game. I mean, I don't take a whole lot into plus minus, but when you're plus 29 in your minutes in the game, that's pretty good.
Zach and John.
Kind of following up on Devontae, you've been around him for 3 years now. What do you think, I guess, where do you think he gets his comfort level back as he gets healthier, as he gets back into the flow? Is it just pure minutes? Is it defense? Is it the way he passes the ball? Just kind of what gets him back to being Devontae, I guess?
That ball goes in the basket, maybe. I mean, there's one thing that makes him feel good, in my opinion, and that's him being able to impact the game by making, a shot early, a play early, and he got that tonight. I mean, he got that tonight. And you can see once that pressure gets out of, I got to get one to go down, in my opinion, that's always been his bugaboo, trying to get going in a certain way. And for him, he can impact our team in so many ways early in the game, especially in this game. I thought his playmaking was way better than his scoring, especially early. He hit Race on a couple that Race didn't finish. I mean, those were good passes by him. But, he's a guy that, to me, is driven to be aggressive. And with that aggressiveness, you have to find that median of allowing him to, one, be aggressive, and then B, not allowing him to self-destruct, so to speak, and then get down on himself or worry about it. Move on to the next play. But without question, I think Devontae is feeling his best when he's able to make shots or he's able to impact the game offensively. And then the rest of it takes care of itself. He can play the game freely. But I thought even last game and in the last couple of practices, he hasn't made some shots in the first game out, a little bit frustrated, and it carries over. But to me, for him, play the right way, keep it simple, and obviously I'm going to allow him, and we're going to allow him to be himself and be as aggressive as he can, because I think he's the one player on our team. He's very, very impactful creative-wise. He can do things, that other guys don't see. His pick-and-roll game tonight was really good. So, like I said, we'll start over tomorrow, Devontae. Hopefully we have a good day.
John.
Rob, it seemed like he maybe got poked in the eye at one point in time.
I did not see any play. I wasn't real sure what he did. He came out one time, and whether it was collision, I don't really know. So I'm not sure what happened to him.
Coach, if there's any sort of trend through 5 games that you've had a lot of nice second half runs, is that an encouraging sign for you that they're kind of learning quickly on the fly to make adjustments?
We have an inexperienced team, so try out to start the game. Let's see how things go here, and could go a lot of different ways. And second half, let's calm down, let's make a few adjustments, and I think we'll be fine. And I think they've taken that to heart, that our second half offense is typically better. They're more comfortable. They're not having to play the game, so to speak, without any help. Second half defense, make a couple adjustments, especially guarding the 3 or getting back. But to me, we have a team that I think as it sinks in as the year goes on, we'll be a better second half team because we have so much inexperience in terms of the guys knowing what to do or how to do it and step up. That's why it was good to see Justin tonight, play a really solid game. Al didn't score as many as he had been, but he had a great floor game, So it's good to see our upperclassmen, those 2 in particular tonight, step up and play a good game where, it wasn't an explosive scoring night or one of those deals because they know what to do. They know how to do it, so we need them to lead the way.
All right, Coach, thank you.
Thank you.